So some of you in the room will recognize this distinguished gentleman on the left, Dr. Heiko Kalweit, who's joined us at the conference now, sitting on the back row. This is a story of some earlier work that was carried out by the Abu Dhabi Islands Archaeological Survey. Heiko actually carried out a baseline survey of Saadiyat Island for the Abu Dhabi Islands Archaeological Survey, and then the following year, the sites that he identified, we did further mapping, myself and Richard Cutler, who you heard the other day talking about Marawa. And then more recently in 2015, we set up a project that was called the Saadiyat Coastal Heritage Project, and the idea of it was to involve students, so continuing on, so the students could experience working in the oases in Al-Ain, but also have a taste of coastal archaeology and studying material. And this is jointly with Zayed University, but also this time with New York University. New York University, of course, is located on Saadiyat Island, so it was very appropriate that their students get involved really in local archaeology, because the two of the main sites we discovered. So this is what Saadiyat Island looked like when Heiko first went there. So you'll note that there's no bridge across to the island, no Louvre Abu Dhabi, no Guggenheim, no ZNM, no roads, no St. Regis Hotel, no highway running across to Jubail Island, no, of course, nothing on Yas Island either, no shopping mall, no facilities there. So it was a very interesting island. It's an island that had been used before. There was an experimental agriculture station there in the 1970s. Even famous personalities like Muhammad Ali visited actually Saadiyat Island to see the vegetables that were growing in greenhouses there, we discovered recently. So anyway, the work that Heiko did identified, and these red dots are showing archaeological sites that were discovered on the island, various spots, and there were two particular hot spots that were discovered. You'll note following the earlier work talking about late Islamic sites in the desert. Here we have lots and lots of late Islamic sites, but on the coast and islands, showing that settlement was not just concentrated in Abu Dhabi, but in actual fact in all the barrier islands surrounding this area. So the main conclusion of Heiko's original survey and then our subsequent mapping was that there were two very important areas that we wanted to protect, a kind of banana-shaped limestone outcrop here, and a very large area here that appeared to be a large settlement area. And we presume this settlement, because of the pottery that you'll hear about that analysis shortly, we're presuming that really there was a village located in this area. This is actually the nursery area where they grow the trees for doing the modern landscaping on Saadiyat Island. So we're imagining something like this. I mean, this is a historical photograph showing actually Casa al-Husn, but we imagine that these type of houses existed in this area by the mangroves. We had pottery scatters, we had traces of burning from possible hearths, but the main thing was a very large quantity of pottery. And so we involved students in documenting this and collecting the pottery following the earlier work. There was so much more pottery eroding out, so we had students from Zayed University and NYU helping us systematically pick up the pottery, map the pottery, and then analyze the pottery. We actually, this is showing some of the work with NYU. NYU were very interested in also documenting oral history, so we started interviewing people who used to live on Saadiyat Island, and we were lucky enough, one of the students at NYU, her father was from one of the Al-Ramaythi family who'd lived on the island, and there were lots of interesting things we didn't know about Saadiyat Island, like that 500 camels used to be kept there. There was a Coast Guard station, there were people involved in fishing and pearling there. We also did some 3D laser scanning of the limestone outcrop. There's a very interesting shell midden at one end, and this was again to give the students, not only get them involved in picking up pottery, mapping the pottery, but also involved with the oral history in documenting, recording this, and also to give them a taste of modern archaeology using latest technology, but also this is one of the former inhabitants of Saadiyat, and we had a kind of workshop where we got people to draw on the map what they remember from being on the island, you know, their memories. So it was a way of recording, and this involved, as I said, a number of UAE national students, Dana Al-Hassani, Fatima Al-Nuaimi, Noor Al-Mahabi, as well under the supervision of Professor Robert Parthisius. So this is a really fun project, trying to combine archaeology, oral history, and you're going to hear now from May, who's the main presenter of this paper, about the study of quantification of the ceramics. So this was done by May and Afra under the supervision of Tim. So I will hand over now to May to explain to you about the results of the pottery analysis.